Hey guys, welcome back to the shop and another week of Saturday Night Special. So I've got a lot of stuff to talk to you about this week. We got a lot of information to go over, and the question on everybody's mind is what's going on. I've released a video last week, big changes ahead, and a lot of people were a little confused and taken back by that, weren't sure what I was talking about and the message that I was trying to convey there. But so I'm here to tell you now that I made the decision to leave my day job and pursue self-employment full-time, and that is what we're doing. So I am pursuing full-time content creation and job shop work and all the things that I get into around here in the shop. I also want to be able to do more traveling, seeing more people out there, and do some factory tours and tour other shops and visit with some of the creators out there around the country, things like that. Some of that stuff is really tough to manage to be able to do whenever you have a full-time job that you have to be there for, and it's difficult to take the time off to do that. But really excited about this time and being able to step out. I'm very nervous about it. It was not an easy decision to make. This is something that's been on my mind for quite some time, and I wasn't sure if I was ever going to do it or not. But I've been inspired by so many other creators out there, a lot of other people that have reached for their dreams and their goals, and learning that the only way that you're going to do it is to pursue it and do it, and not wait half your life to wonder if you made the right decision or not. So I decided to go ahead and make that jump off the cliff, and I hope that my parachute will eventually open. I really do. So it might be a tough ride on the way down at first, but hopefully we'll start a smooth sailing and work our way there. But I have a lot of projects around here that I plan to do. I've got several collaboration projects in line that I'm going to be working on, and I'm sure that there's going to be plenty of other projects that show up here that I need to get done as well. As I said, I want to focus on full-time content creation right now, and working on shop projects around here. I got a lot of things I want to build and things to share with you. And I also have some products that I'm going to be building, and one of those you should know about, the fixture plates, the Fireball tool fixture plates. I have a batch of 10 of those that I plan on machining and putting out there to sell. Now, I have not announced that yet, that I'm going to be selling those. This is the first time I'm talking about it. I have not got a price point on those things, but whenever I do, I will make an announcement to see who would be interested in those. I have some refinements to make on that fixture plate from the first one that I did, and I have some new additions to machine to the fixture plate. I got some ideas to make it a really nice special item, a limited of 10 of them, and I'm looking forward to getting to that point and sharing with you. I also have plans to machine some Machinist Jacks, and in the last video, one of the last videos is Random Machining 6. I've got several clips of me talking about and highlighting a Machinist Jack that I made at work and was showing it put to work there. And when I had shared that on Instagram, I seemed to have gotten a really good response out of that, sharing it, and I thought that would be a really good tool to be able to machine around here in my shop and sell them to those that are interested in it. So that's going to be another booth machine item that I plan on working on in the near future. I've already got some material lined up for it, and I'm going to refine that design that I initially made and try to make it a little bit better than it was, and I'm sure it may improve as time goes on, but that will be something that I would like to start producing here in the shop and start selling as a way to generate revenue around here for the shop. So I'll be sure to let you guys know about that as it happens. And then I have other ideas in mind too. I can't get to everything at one time, but I have a list written down of some other ideas, things that I think could be brought to fruition and possibly created around here as a source of revenue for the shop there. So I also want to give you guys a reminder that, of course, I'm still on Patreon. If you guys would like to support me, you can support me through Patreon. All it takes is $1 a month. I've also added the PayPal donation link, which is it'll be at the top right corner of the screen. On the home page, you can go up there. There's a button you can click on, and you can donate through PayPal any amount that you want, $1, whatever. You can also make it a monthly contribution if you'd like to as well. Okay, so those options are out there for anybody who has interest in supporting the shop around here. Okay. So I've got some other footage to share with you of moving some of my stuff back into the shop here. I had several items at work. I had a work table there that was mine, and I had some other tooling and stuff, and I brought all that stuff home, and I got a little footage of that, just bringing some of that back, unloading the trailer. And the work table is going to be an outdoor work table because I don't have room for another table in here, but that'll come in real handy whenever I'm doing some restoration work and need to do some grinding and sanding and things like that, like the big pink reed vise over here that I plan on restoring. Be able to take that out there and do some cleaning on it out there. So I'm going to share that with you. Also got a CRC product that we're going to put to the test, since that's going to be an outdoor table. We're going to try out this SP400 rust inhibitor on there. Got some footage of that from this week. It's been raining and stuff, so I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you and seeing how well this product is going to work to keep the rust off of that table out there. So got a couple of viewer items that I'm going to share with you. And one of them, since we've been talking about the Kearney and Trekker, we got this really cool tag, this machinery tag that Tom Utley made for me. He's a buddy of mine. You can find him on Instagram under King Tutley. And this is something that he made. He does the acid etch, and he's been doing restoration projects for a few of the guys out there. And he's helped me with a recent project for the fixture plates, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. But this is an extra one that he had made for me. He was making up some of these for a couple of the other guys out there. It's just something fun that you could, it's kind of like a sticker or a magnet. You know, I'll probably put some tape on the back of this and just maybe stick it up like it's a sticker. But thank you very much, Tom. By the way, if you have any restoration needs, you know, some machinery tags that you're looking to have created, something like that for a lathe or mill or any kind of machinery, Tom is kind of getting into this side business of making up some of these tags for people. So check him out on Instagram, send him a message, and you can work out a deal with him on maybe making up some of your own machinery tags. He does the artwork and then creates the tag and puts the color and everything on it. So does a really nice job. So not only did I get the Kearney and Trekker machinery tag there, we've also got a really cool banner of the same logo, upside down, sorry. The Kearney and Trekker emblem logo that is on my machine. And this was made up by Michael Wiggins over at the Backyard Machine Shop. He had a few of these made for the guys and he wanted to send me one, so thank you very much, Mike. I'll see if I can find me a place to hang this up, maybe up top there above that window. We can put this. So very cool. I think he might be having some more of these made up. If you're interested in one, you can check out Mike Wiggins over at the Backyard Machine Shop. So I was just mentioning my friend Tom Utley and the tags that he is now making, and so this is something that I've been collaborating with him on creating for my fixture plates. So he designed and made these tags for me. Very nice job that he has done on those. They look very nice. This is an acid etch over brass, and you see in the middle we have a place that we'll be able to put a serial number and of course the date there as well. So very, very nice. I love these. I love these old machinery tags, and this is one that Tom did a fine job on making. He's got several of them here. I just didn't take them all out of the paper there to kind of keep them protected. But he did a really fine job on these. So thank you again very much for these, Tom. So as I said, if you're needing any tags like this made for your machines, you can get with him and he can work with you on creating some restoration tags for your equipment. So this will be a nice addition right there. I did buy a Schmidt marking machine off of eBay here recently. Might have seen it over here earlier, and I'm going to be using that to stamp the numbers in here for the serial number and the date. But we'll get to that another time. I need to get a little practice on it so that I can make sure that I properly stamp these things whenever the time comes. All right. So here's another very cool tool that I have been waiting for quite some time to get. Finally got my hands on it, and something that I've been told by many people that I needed to have. And I don't know why I waited around this long to get it, but I finally got myself one. So this was made by Buckeye Engraving, and what we have is a marking stamp with my logo, the A-Bomb 79 logo on it right there. So this can be used to make my mark in a piece of metal and put a permanent stamp in there. And he did a fantastic job of making these. Just a very beautifully done stamp. You can see the end of it right there. I mean, it's amazing how close the grind marks are to the engraving there for the stamp. Just really, really cool. So I'll have his information up there on the screen in case anybody's interested in that. But everything that comes out of the shop now that I create is going to have this stamp on it. So very cool. There's a couple sample stamp marks that I put in a piece of steel just to test this thing out. There's a piece of 4140, by the way. So let's go ahead and try it one more time just to give you guys the example there. There you go. What do you think of that? I think it looks pretty cool myself. Yeah, that's going to be a nice way to make my little hallmark into my jobs coming up here. Very cool. All right, so we got some really cool viewer mail that came in last month, and these were given to me by one of my viewers named Bob Johnstone. He's on YouTube as Beachcomber Bob, and he lives over there in the UK. And whenever he was watching me machine the shaft for the K&T electric motor, he thought how fitting it would be for me to have some metric micrometers. So he thought it'd be cool to find some of these Starrett mics and pick them up and send to me. So that's what he's done. He done this on his own, and he got these to send them in. And these were most likely made over at the Starrett plant in Scotland, which is, I believe that's Jedburgh, Scotland is where the plant is over there. It says Great Britain on the mic. So just for anybody that's unaware, Starrett does have a plant there in Scotland. And so anytime that you see some of these micrometers that says Great Britain on it, they were made over there in their plant there in Scotland. So this is a 25 to 50 millimeter micrometer, and it's in great shape. It's got a good feel to it there. Got the friction thimble that works fine. It's in good shape. The case is a little bit cracked in here, but still in operable condition right there. All right, so there's that one. And then this one right here is a 0 to 25 millimeter mic, and I believe this thing is still new. I don't know if it was ever used before. It's got the book, it's got the packing memo in there, and look at this. It's still got plastic around it. Now I don't know if this is original or if somebody's done that. Actually, Starrett would have done it because it's got the Starrett logos on the plastic. I haven't taken this out till now. I was just kind of saving it for the video. So let's go ahead and take it out of the plastic there. Somebody's kept that with it, which is pretty cool. And virtually brand new 25 millimeter Starrett micrometer. Also says Great Britain on it there on the barrel. So most likely this was made over there in Scotland at their Jedburgh plant. Does this one have the friction thimble? I don't think it does. Nope, does not have the friction thimble. So that one you got to do by feel. But really good condition. So thank you very much, Bob. I appreciate it. Some very, very nice looking mics right here. We'll put those in our mic drawer. And I need to get a little practice on reading the metric. So I got one more thing that I want to share with you, just to kind of talk about the, we were talking about the plant. So this is one of my Starrett catalogs. This is one of the late model. catalogs right here, and on this page right here, it shows the other plants around the world. Okay, so let me get you in there and show you, and there it is right there. Jedburgh, Scotland. This facility manufactures and stocks full lines of precision tools and saw blades and the complete line of optical measuring projectors and accessories. All right, so they've also got a plant in China, Brazil, Wake Park, Minnesota. That's where they do the granite plates, okay? Granite surface plates up there in Minnesota. And in Athol, of course, that's where most all the precision tools are made. And they've also got a plant in North Carolina. And they manufacture precision ground flat stock, hole saws, and bandsaw blades. Very cool. The Brazil plant also creates the precision tool saw blades, tape measures, and hand tools. So they've got facilities all around the world, and I just wanted to share that their plant there in Scotland. All right. I'll make sure the camera don't fall off right here. So we got just about everything moved. Still got a few things left up there I got to get. I got a drill press, propane tank that I'm going to be turning into a smoker, and I have a drum of oil up there, and that's just about it. So I've been gathering up my tools and boxing them up little at a time, and now finally this was like the big haul of getting everything here. But I want to show you this table. So this was originally just a material handling cart that I fabricated a while back at the old shop, and we used to get a bunch of shafts in here, 20-foot lengths of cold roll that we had to cut up and do some machining on, and we wanted something that we could set the material on from the truck and roll it into the shop to the saw, and that's what we got right here. And we ended up having this piece of material. We had this piece of plate right here, which is it's a piece of 5/8 thick plate, and we bought it from the scrap yard. And when we weren't using the material rack hardly anymore, I figured out that that plate was a perfect size to just sit on there and make a tabletop. So that's what we always used that for, was just a table in the very middle of the shop, and it's worked really well. So whenever we had downsized and I moved down here to this shop, we downsized the old shop, I had a need for a table this size at work, so I took it up to work, and that's where it's been ever since. So brought it home, and now it's going to be able to be used around here. I'm going to keep it outside and use it out here whenever I want to do my restorations or do any work outside. We'll have a table out here. So it rolls real nice and easy on those casters. Love it. So I got other tools in here that I've already, we've got unloaded, and just box fulls of tools that I had in my toolbox. We got our press plates there that Aaron had made for me, and more boxes of tools. So tap wrenches right here, that was my card number 10, and the Greenfield number 22 that I use a lot of. I also got a Greenfield number 7 in one of the boxes as well. So just about got everything back at the shop right here. Just a couple of items I already mentioned, and I'll be working on those pretty soon to get those back here as well. So pretty exciting times to get everything home, and looking forward to what's going to happen around here. I'm actually having to film this segment again. I somehow lost the original videos that I'd taken of this the other day when I brought it home and sprayed it down. But what I had wanted to show and test out with this is this SP400 from CRC Industrial corrosion inhibitor. Now, whenever I brought the drill press home, I showed spraying it down with the CRC SP350, and the SP400 is a little bit more heavy duty, more long-term protection, as it says right there. So I thought this table would be a perfect test for it, because I'm going to keep it outside. It's going to be an outdoor work table, and it's bare metal except for the frame. It's painted black. So we've already coated it down. I've got a couple clips of it raining the other day, pouncing it with water. So we're going to see how well this stuff will work. And you just spray it on. All right, you just spray it on, and you see it looks a little liquidy there, so it'll dry and kind of leave a waxy, oily type film on there. I don't know if you can see my fingerprints or not, but it sort of leaves like a waxy film and protects it from the water getting to it and causing rust. All right, so I'll show you the clips of the rain on it, and I'll come back later and I'll show you how well it's holding up after a couple weeks, a month or so. Just a fun test. But I mean, this is some good stuff. If you do have some equipment or machines or tools or stuff that that's stored outside or even under a cover, they're still susceptible to get rust on them. You get you something like that, either the 350 or the 400, and spray it on there, and it'll really keep the moisture from getting to your bare metal components. All right. So back to the table with the SP400 on it. So this is after our rainfall came through, and I just want to show you what it looks like with the rain on it. It still feels tacky underneath there, so maybe the water will evaporate and will keep it from rusting. I'll show you what it looks like later or tomorrow or something after the water's evaporated off of it. Little thing I'm going to do today is I want to go ahead and get this universal table trimmed back in nice and parallel to the ram. Thought I would show you the process since we're going to do that. I'm going to loosen the 4 lock nuts right here, rotate it back in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to indicate the bottom of the Kurt vise right here. Try to get this 0-0 across this stretch, and then what I might do is go ahead and compare it to the table itself also and see what kind of reading we get. So I'm going to go ahead and eyeball it back to 0 on the graduated scale here. I'm going to try not to go past it, so I'm going to come right up to the line. Probably going to be a little low on this side, so let's go ahead and turn it on. So a little bit low. I'm just pushing the screw a little at a time. I'm not trying to get it all at once. It's within a half a thou right there. Pretty close. I'm going to go ahead and stop it, and what I want to do is I want to go ahead and snug these down just lightly so that it's not able to float around. So here's a tenths reading indicator. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on and show you what it's got going on. So I'm seeing 2 to 2.5 thousandths difference right there, but what we're seeing is once the rotation or the direction of the stroke changes, that's when the reading changes. So it looks like depending on what direction the ram is being pulled or pushed at is when it's making it, you know, change. And just so you know, I changed the indicator 90 degrees and tried it this way just because this is an old indicator. I haven't ever had it repaired or anything like that, so it may have a little bit of wear that's causing some of this deviation, but it also very well is the machine. The ram may be moving that much whenever it changes direction. So it looks like 2 tenths to me. I think I might have said 2 thousandths earlier, but 2 tenths. That's pretty dang good. I have another indicator, another tenths indicator that I might try, but I think it's going to do the same thing. But I'm going to put it on there anyway and give it a try. And we may also try a test indicator, a Swiss-made test indicator, and see if we can mimic the same results there. So that's my other Starrett tenths indicator, and I went ahead and I checked it once. I was getting the same reading, so I went ahead and put it on these precision 1, 2, 3 blocks just to make sure that we weren't measuring any kind of valleys or anything in the bottom of the vise there. So I'm getting 3 tenths on this indicator right there, but what I'm seeing is a steady drop and rise each time. So as that thing is moving across, even though it went plus, it's not changing across the length of the stroke there. I'm maybe a half a tenth as it's going across. I'm seeing maybe a half a tenth. I don't know if I can get that out. It might go too far, but I'm going to try it anyway. Let me find my wrench here. I've got it on the screw, and we're gonna see if we can help it at all. I'm gonna leave it there. Let's go ahead and try a test indicator and see what it says. All right, we got our inter-rapid test indicator on there, and I can see a little bit better with this one here. I'm not getting quite as much movement, so I think in the 2 Starrett indicators I am seeing a little bit of wear. I slowed it down to make it a little bit easier to see there. But what I'm seeing is 2 tenths, maybe 2.5 tenths. It's hard to tell just because it jumps around. But I do think I still have a little bit of room for elevation on this end of the vise right here. I'm going to keep adjusting it and see if I can get it even closer than I got there. I pulled the curved vise off and put the original vise back on, and I'm going to do some more tramming. Make sure that that the vise itself is trammed in nice and square as close as I can. Make sure I check it this way and make sure we don't have no tilt in it either. And I'm using my precision ground oil stone that was made by Steve Lang, or actually surface ground by Steve Lang, Shark River Machine. So I'm just showing how I'm using it. I cleaned the metal off real good with a rag, make sure there's no oil all over it and dirt. And these stones do a really good job of just really brightening up the surfaces of contact there, and any high spot that you might see. I found one over on that side, one little tiny ding, and it makes a really bright round spot where it rubs it in. So I'm just using the coarse side because this is the first time I've done this on this vise bed. I used one of my stones, but it wasn't a precision ground stone. So we'll switch over to the fine side and smooth it out just a little bit more, really brighten it up. So there we are, measuring the top of the 1, 2, 3 blocks, just using the 1-inch graduated dial indicator. Looks like it's pretty well spot on. Just want to show you that, and I'll go ahead and stop it and move it down onto the vise bed itself. We'll look at that, and then we'll check it with a test indicator. All right, so there we are measuring the bed. It looks like it's pretty well spot on. So I'm using the block to try to help eliminate any of that jumping where the needle might be kind of falling into a little groove or something down in the vise bed. So I'm going to put the blocks back over here and then set up the test indicator. All right, spanning our 6 inches there across the blocks. We start out about 0 or 1/10 there. We're at 0, 1/10. We're at 0 on that end right there, 1/10 there. So I'm still calling that within 2 thousandths right there. So I think that's about as flat as I can get it. It's very twitchy with a tense indicator. So I just wanted to get this thing set back up nice and square, and when I was doing it, I decided to go ahead and shoot a little video just to share with you guys. So now we got it nice and trammed in. I've even got the vise jaw trammed in nice and 0 all the way across there. So we'll be ready for our next job.